and welcome to yet another episode of News Time. Today we have with us Mr. Sandip Das, who is the director at TPCI, the Trade Promotion Council of India. Welcome to our panel, sir. To start with, we'd like to understand what is TPCI, what is its role, and what are its functions?
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you for inviting me to this program. TPCI is a trade promotion body. Our constitution is quite like a chamber of commerce, and we are an industry body, multi-product industry body with our active membership of more than 1,500 companies. And as TPCI, we are completely focused on the international trade and development domain. So we are very little concerned about the domestic issues of the industry, but rather we are working in the domain of facilitation of international trades, exports, and import related issues for the companies from India as well as organizations with our partner chambers, overseas partner chambers for their entry to India. This is what is our role. Primarily, the role is 85 to 90% towards export promotion and investment promotion for in India and Indian organizations. The sectors which we cover includes food and beverages. Then we also focus on certain domains of chemical industry, particularly dyes and chemicals. You have ceramics, paper. Those are the domains where we work on. We also work on food processing technology domain. Then some part of IT and telecom. Those are our prime focus areas. We try to promote Indian enterprises globally through policy advocacy. We work closely with various ministries and departments of Government of India and state governments for related to for their studies and other activities related to this particular sector. This is what we do basically.
Okay, sir, is TPCI related to ITPO in some way, because ITPO is also ordained to promote trade in the country?
Yeah. See, TPCI and ITPO, they are not related, although some functions are similar between both the organization. ITPO is obviously the official PPO for India, but TPCI is more like an industry body. You can compare TPCI with any other chamber of commerce, be it CII, FICCI. The roles and constitution and the functions are quite similar to CII, FICCI, SOCHM, PhD CCI or ICC. So TPCI falls in that part of the domain. And although ITPO is only concerned with trade promotion per se, but TPCI, apart from trade promotion, we also work in the domain of investment promotion. So that way it is a little different from ITPO.
Okay, and I would like to ask you, what role do you perceive does exhibitions play in promoting and the trade of country and promoting an industry and their businesses?
See, exhibition plays a very important role because what happens, it's not only exhibitions, it's exhibition, trade delegation, your various buyer seller interaction, B2B meets. They actually play a very important role when it comes to trade promotion, be it you are talking about outward trade promotion or inward trade promotion. Because what happens, if you take an example of a company, once they wants to explore a new market globally, the first challenge, the general way is they have to appoint a person. That person has to take a visa, go travel to that country, spend some time there, identify the potential partners there, customers there, go city to city, meet those offices to offices, those people, and they are not sure whether those association will be fruitful or not, whether they are trustworthy associations or not. So in such a way, the overall investment and the time taken to reach out, make that outreach is very high for a small company, for a new company. And at times, when bigger organizations who are very structured ones, to get budget approvals for doing such activities is very difficult thing. Whereas in exhibition, if you were participating in an exhibition, you know a certain expenses parameter that this much I have to invest, and I have the possibility to meet so many people at one place. So it saves time. Point two is that there's a genuinity of the persons whom you are meeting in, because that's why they've been invited over there. So there's a possibility that you can make a far more effective outreach with a lesser investment, time, and involvement of resources. That's why all such activities, including exhibition, plays a very important role when it comes to trade promotion.
Absolutely, sir. And sir, as you know, that exhibition industry was hard hit because of the pandemic, and due to which a lot of events were cancelled, and some of them went online. So now, with the development of virtual events, do you feel that the significance of physical exhibitions will decline some way, or it is not going to be a threat?
No, actually, I don't think it's going to be a threat or the physical events will be affected anyway. The reason why physical events got affected is because of one is the pandemic, one is the nature of the virus which is spreading very fast, and the second reason was lots of travel restrictions that had been put in place by different countries as well as within the different states also for a movement of people. So that was the basic challenge that the physical events are facing. If we talk about the virtual one, see, physical events can sustain of themselves, but virtual events individually they cannot, is not a sustainable model, because you are not sure who about the outcome of that event. Exhibitor participating in there in virtual exhibition, they are not sure the person when is he coming. If it is an international kind of an exhibition, then there are so many time zones, you cannot expect a exhibiting company to be available 24/7 based on the different time zones of the world. So there are so much of problems there. But obviously virtual has, if the virtual can be clubbed with physical in future also, it will rather add value to the physical events, because there are your visitors who are unable to travel also, but through virtual platform, through hybrid events, you can actually cater to those potential visitors and buyers, and then probably actually add to the ROIs for your participating exhibitors. So I
Absolutely,
don't
sir.
see it as a threat.
Absolutely. And with this, I would like to come to the next question. And I would like to inform the audiences that TPCI is coming up with its physical edition of Indus Food very soon. And I would like you to share the details of the event with us and what are going to be the highlights of this edition.
Yes. Thank you, Raghav. Yes, TPCI is doing Indus Food from 20th and 21st of March 2021 in IEML Greater Noida. Indus Food, I'll just, before I explain about the event and what we are going to do this year, I just want to tell one small history about the inception, how it was initially started, Indus Food. Indus Food was never conceptualized as an exhibition. Indus Food was rather conceptualized as a marketplace, because I remember in 2016, 2017, we were working with the Department of Commerce and Ministry of Commerce on agri-export policy, which was supposed to come. What should be the recommendation, and we were studying a lot of things, and also we are working on a project called how to double India's F&B exports in by 2025. So while doing that study and work with Department of Commerce, what we actually identified is that India, most of us don't know, is global leaders, basically the top producers of many agricultural commodities. And there are so many commodities. If I give you some example, like India is number one producer of banana. India is number one producers of in production of milk. India is globally number one in production of spices, and 70% of the global market share of spices belong to India. So all such things are there. And the more than 21, approximately 21 agroclimatic zones are available in India. So you can actually produce anything in India because of this diversity. So we are one of the largest producer. At the same time, once we analyze the data, we check the trends and everything, we found that India is also one of the largest consumers of the same food and agricultural products. So what is happening is there's a huge potential for exporting Indian products abroad. At the same time, because of our population, there's a lot of potential for importation of certain products which we don't grow or don't produce. So what happened, and also we found one more interesting thing is that whatever exports we are making uh, are basically commodity export. Basically, if you are growing banana, you are exporting raw banana. If you are producing flour, you are exporting flour, wheat straight away. You are exporting rice straight away. You are exporting shrimp straight away. So what happens is when you are exporting the raw commodities, the value is less. I'll give you a very simple example. If you talk about shrimps, India is one of the largest producers of shrimps, and we export it globally, be it the USA, Canada, or you talk about the European Union, Middle East, and most importantly, the ASEAN countries. Interestingly, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, they import lots of shrimp from us, and they process it, pack it, and then again send it back to us with a higher price, and we import it for our consumption. So, what we understood is it is important for the food and beverage sector to process the agricultural commodities and sell value added products, both domestically and globally. So, from that idea, and then also we found out that despite being the largest producer as well as largest consumer of food and agricultural products, what we try to do is we have to make our Indian companies uh, globally competitive by not allowing international sellers participate in our event, so that, and inviting all the international buyers here so that they can meet the Indian companies, know the standards globally, because at the end of the day, food and pharma are the things which are for human consumption, so that they require a lot of certification. Even if you Indian companies are participating in Gulf Food or Anuga and other things, they are not straight away getting an order until and unless that buyer is coming to India, seeing their facilities, they are satisfied with their facilities, they are not actually placing the orders. So, in such kind of a scenario, Indus Food, there was a vacuum, not only in India, but entire Southeast Asia and South Asia. So, Indus Food, we have started. Yes, 3 years we have done Indus Food as export promotion event. This year also we are doing it as an export promotion event. From 2022 edition, yes, we'll also allow the international companies to come in and sell their products and explore Indian products also. So it's about Indus Food. And as you are aware, Raghav, most of us are may not be aware that Indus Food is a different kind of a concept where we don't have a lot of footfall. We don't talk about where we have more than 350 exporters and exhibitors participating in Indus Food, but the number of buyers and the trade visitors are very limited, and they are all handpicked ones. They have been screened thoroughly at multiple levels, at our level, at the suppliers level, exhibitors level, at the level of the Indian embassies and the governmental level also, and then we invite the buyers. And it's not a very open trade show kind of a thing; it's a closed door event. So this is one USP of Indus Food, through which over the last 3 4 years we are able to maintain a quality, which means anybody who, as a buyer, as a visitor, comes to Indus Food is an authentic person who is an actual real buyer and who is actually sourcing and who has a requirement for something and looking for Indian products. So the chances of getting business for the participants are much higher. Even if we are allowing from next edition, not 2021, 22 edition, if we are allowing international companies to participate in the show, the format is going to be the same. Because that's why probably in this period also, we are able to, at least we can, we had actually gathered the courage to organize this event this time, because we know with limited number of buyers, we would be able to pull it off, because they have the requirements and they will place orders on the floor and the exhibitors will go happy.
Absolutely. So, sir, these buyers would be from international countries. They
Yes,
would be international
yes.
participants.
Last
So,
year we had 1,300 plus buyers for F&B, whom we have hosted. Apart from this, around 400-500 buyers, they came of their own, but all being pre-registered and approved, and then only they could got the visas for this event. And this year, what we are planning is we are going to host, because of pandemic and limited air connectivity. We are expecting around 700 buyers being hosted, and some 100 to 200 buyers coming of their own, but from more than 50 countries. This is what we are expecting.
that's a very impressive number. So, do you
Hopefully,
have?
if everything goes, if the status quo is there in terms of air connectivity and in terms of a pandemic in all the countries, then definitely it will be like this only. But if something goes little here and there, we'll manage the numbers, but the number of countries may not be so much, maybe 40, maybe 45, that we don't know.
But as we are aware that there is another wave, another strain of COVID, which has infected in the European countries. So, still we are expecting some numbers from those regions, or
Yes,
primarily from the Asia.
yes. We are expecting from Europe also. We are expecting it from Canada and USA also, and including Latin American countries also. See, the strain is there. Anyway, somebody wants to travel. The strain is in their own country. The good part, what Indian government has done is, they had allowed, if someone traveling from overseas, they have a negative COVID report before 10 72 hours before their departure, that is 3 days before departure, they can get a test done and they get a negative report. They can upload it in the air Suvidha, the on the website, web portal, and then they can get the exemption on the quarantine. So once they arrive, they have a separate counters line queue in the airports. They can go there, show their that acknowledgement that they have been exempted, so they don't have to undergo quarantine. So that is there. The strain is in their own country, and apart from UK, currently there is no such restrictions imposed by Indian government.
Okay. So these are very positive signs for the exhibition industry also.
Yes.
And once they are at the event, what practices or measures are you going to take to make the experience safe and smooth for the attendees?
Yes, this is a very important aspect that this year we actually need to take care of. And in fact, we have also uploaded the health and security measures that will ensure during the event in our website. But primarily, there would be what we have done is, if you see the exhibition hall this year, we have increased the width of the each aisle. Any aisle which is having one-way movement will have at least 3 meters of width, and any aisles which have two-way movement of traffic, that would will ensure 4 meters of width minimum. Then what we have done is, once the people are arriving at the venue, there's a proper temperature screening, sanitization, and proper scanning, not only at the venue of the event, but also because we involve a lot of hosted buyers, and the hotels are being sponsored by the organizers. At the hotels also, we ensure the same thing. Such kind of sanitizations are being measures are being taken care of. Honestly speaking, we are trying to create a temporary bubble for the buyers who are, once they are out of the airport, they will be taken care of in a separate way. That's what we are going to ensure, because we also understand, See, lot of things are at stake, because this is probably, if we exclude Aero India, which is a Government of India event, which is taking place in February in Bangalore, this is probably the first exhibition in during COVID period in physical format happening with lots of international participation. So we know, and our buyers, they have actually gathered the courage to come to India just on our assurances that these things will be maintained. So we'll do everything to maintain that health and hygiene measures here.
Tentatively, what volume of area you have booked at the venue? How many halls and what is going to be the gross exhibition and the net exhibition area?
See, gross exhibition area, if you talk about, it's something around 13,000 square meter. This is what we are going to do this year. In terms of exhibitors sides, they are quite upbeat, because during this pandemic also, this food and beverage sector, this is the only sector which had growth in terms of export revenue. So at this point of time, they are cash rich. uh, we had activities during this pandemic period also, where they had interacted constantly with buyers through our various activities organized by TPCI. So they know that the buyers are coming in. So it's important to generate. You know what happens is, when in the virtual platform, virtual meets and all, you able to know each other, but the bulk orders, they can only happen through personal meetings, the physical meetings. So they know whatever discussion they had earlier during this virtual, all these 3, 4, 5 months, it's an opportunity for them to convert them into big orders only if they participate. So exporters are quite upbeat, and in fact, we also never expected, we never pushed exporters in last 4 or 5 days to increase when we launched the event, that again, that to increase their space and all. But the good part is that most of them have retained their areas, whatever they had booked initially, which means they have even taken space of around 72 square meters, which is really good at this current scenario for a food and beverage kind of an exhibition.
Absolutely, that's very encouraging. One another aspect in an exhibition industry is its complete ecosystem, which involves different service providers and vendors, where the organizer has to coordinate with. So be it your hotel, partner hotel, your the shuttles,
Yeah.
to and fro shuttles, the venue, the stall fabricators, the logistics players. How are you coordinating with all of them to ensure the right delivery at the event at this time, actually?
See, one thing is very clear. If we are planning to do an exhibition in the COVID period, anybody and everybody who is involved with this event has to follow the SOPs that has been given by the government. We are going with government SOPs of the government, plus probably five things more, not one thing less. So this is what we are trying to follow. Uh, I had a meeting with the venue today itself, and it has been clearly mutually decided that it will be communicated to each exporters, exhibitors, your service providers, be it stall contractor, branding provider, or hotel and all, transport provider, or the logistics provider. They can only get work only if they are complying with the SOPs. If they are not complying with the SOPs, it is going to affect not only to this exhibition industry per se, but to overall image of India. So we have to ensure that thing, and it will be communicated in very in very black and white terms with all the suppliers, with all the partners, to maintain that thing.
Absolutely. And are you also using some hybrid element in your show, supplementing the physical exhibition?
Yes, it's like more like a hybrid event. The virtual part is only to ensure it's not that anybody and everybody can come to virtual exhibition. They can come and see. But the major point of the organizing this virtual side of this event is that, one, there are lots of buyers who will not be able to travel because of there is no air connectivity with that country, or they have some stringent restrictions going on for which they cannot travel, or they are more than 60-65 years of age. So for the because of the health concern, they should not travel. Neither we also encourage them to travel. So in such scenario, they should not also be missed out for the event. So for them, yes, we are doing it as a virtual format also during the event days.
Wonderful. With this, sir, I would like to thank you for sparing your valuable time with us. And I would like to invite our readers who are interested to know more about TPCI and their upcoming event to please read our upcoming print issue, which will have the detailed interview of Mr. Das. Thank you, Mr. Das, once again. And I wish you all the very best for your
Thank you,
upcoming
Raghav.
edition. Thank you.
Thank you.